of the Cup. Well, last weekend's fourth round was the last in this season's competition that didn't feature VAR. So, yeah, cue the chaos, really. Aston Villa's game with Newcastle is the one that stood out for some really notable decisions and non-decisions, really. I mean, we heard the likes of Wayne Rooney saying one of the decisions there was the worst that he'd ever seen. Where do you stand on this? Because, look, I think people are very divided, you know, on their opinion of VAR as a whole. But you look at the weekend and you kind of look at it and say, well, this is showing why it's needed.
I just sit back and I watched over the weekend the FA Cup, and it's just so ironic that we're sat here talking this time about not having VAR. We've spoken so much about having VAR in the game, and the reason we have it in the game is because it helps the referees get to the correct decision. Whether they've given a correct decision or an incorrect decision, it helps them for the game to be played in the right manner. But I've just couldn't quite get over what we're seeing. You look at the handball that should have been a penalty in the Aston Villa Newcastle game, and I can't understand how they can get it so wrong. Because if you watched it closely, the referee looks over at the linesman who's on that side and says something into his microphone and must have said to him, was it inside or out the box? Or inside or outside the box? And they managed to get it wrong. But everybody else in the stadium could see. So are referees now too reliant on VAR, which has made them scared to make a decision? VAR has removed all of the emotion out of the game. You and I were talking before we came on and did the show that I wouldn't want to be a footballer now. And the reason for that is because the emotion has gone. And what I mean by that is that in my career, the big moments that happened for me personally, the big moments of goals when I scored, or a team, we won something, we scored a goal, you can't celebrate instantly now. And it just seems as if it desensitises the game a little bit, and then we remove it at the weekend, and now we're having a conversation about referees again. So it's almost as if we can't win. So if we have VAR, great, but then it's all subjective one week and then objective the next. Then we take out VAR and we reintroduce human error, which before VAR was introduced we were all happy with because we understood that there was an element of human error. But because the Premier League is what it is now, we've had to bring it in. So I don't quite know where it sits at the moment, other than the referees need the help, obviously, because without VAR, there were too many decisions that were made incorrectly.
Well, Chris Kavanagh has actually now not been given a game this weekend as well. So is that the answer? He's now out of the firing line, I suppose, for a weekend.
It happens. It happens all the time when referees had bad games, or they made a decision, or they didn't make the right decision. They would have no fixture the next week. It happened when I was playing. Is it the right thing? I don't know. Why can't we help them? There's a linesman there for the Aston Villa game when Digne very clearly handballs it 3 yards inside the box and there's a free kick given. There's still 4 officials, so there's still 4 sets of eyes. And everybody else in the stadium could see that that decision was the wrong one, but the referee and his assistants couldn't. Look, I'm fine with it, accepting that they're human. But for the life of me, I don't understand why we don't have VAR in the Premier League and throughout all of the cup competitions.